welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about my experience working as a Korean interpreter for a Korean brand here in Nigeria. So basically my job was a 4 days assignment, and where I had to like translate from Korean to English and English to Korean. So I've actually had like experiences working as a Korean interpreter, and this one was quite different for me because it was a 4 days in activity. Like basically what I did was interpret, right? So I'll give this scenario, but because of breach of confidentiality, I might not be able to like tell certain things in detail in the video. So on the first day was basically just welcome. Our clients came into Nigeria and we just welcomed him, tried to get him settled in and stuff like that. The first day he came in, he was quite tired and we didn't do so much. Like I said, it was just like welcome and stuff like that, and tried to get him settled into his hotel. Then the second day, it was run down of like the itinerary, like all we had to do for during his stay in Nigeria, the businesses we had to like establish and all. Then on the third day, we had a business meeting, and that was where I had like a major conversation because we had a business meeting with a lawyer, and I had to like do a lot of interpreting from Korean to English and English to Korean, and ensuring that they are both accurate, because when you're translating, Korean and English do not really have like the same grammar pattern. So when you have to translate, you it's like you have to be fluent or have like knowledge to a certain degree, because sometimes English you want to play games with your brain, but Korean want to like it gets mixed up in your head. But like I had to like really pray and prepare well for the third day, because the third day was going to be a major event, which is a meeting with the lawyer. And I even had to like practice, or rather see through some vocabularies which I felt would be needful before that day. So it's a job, you have to prepare for it, you have to be professional at what you do. Then the fourth and final day was also a business meeting, or rather a partnership meeting. And it was a partnership meeting with like a very very top government office in Nigeria. So even that I had to like prepare as much as I can. But for some reason, the fourth day, which I anticipated would be like the most intensive, was not even as intensive as I anticipated. It was just business talk, and I was able to like translate smoothly, and we sealed the business. Like it was a success, like all throughout the whole job. So I don't know, but if you have like any proper questions you think you want to know about working as a Korean interpreter, then you can ask in the comment section and I'll respond to you. But I just wanted to like share my experience here. So what I realized on this job is when it comes to being a Korean interpreter, you have more than just speaking for your client, or rather more than just interpreting what goes on between the two countries, or the two persons, or other persons involved. So what I realized, or the other role I realized I played during the course of this, was the role of a PR, because at this point I had to become the public relations person rather, for our Korean clients, because he had a situation where there was like this minor situation he was trying to fix with his hotel, and we had to go back and forth, getting email from South Korea, trying to rectify it at the hotel. And at this point, right, I just had to like step in and speak on his behalf, like, CEO, this man has called the company in Korea, this is what the company in Korea said. And I had to like translate the message, I had to like email the hotel, make sure that they resolved everything before he left Nigeria, and they did before he left Nigeria. And also another thing again, I realized I did, because when I was going for this, I thought basically I just had to like interpret, right, like interpret when necessary. But I realized that I had to like share culture and, yes, cultural differences or similarities, because there are certain things that we do in Nigeria that they don't do in South Korea, or there are certain things So our client was curious and he was like, oh, why is it that in Nigeria it's like this? Why is it that in Nigeria it's like that? And even me, I had to like ask, oh, so for example, we know, I don't know if everybody knows, but I know that beef, sokogi, beef is very expensive in Korea, but when it comes to Nigeria, I won't say beef is as expensive as it is in Korea. So our client had to like ask questions like, "Oh, is it also expensive here?" And I was like, "Oh no, it's not that expensive." And there was also a situation where he had to ask me the question like, "Why are Nigerian women like why do they have like this figure eight shape, right?" Because if you see Koreans, you know how they are, the women, you know how they are shape and all. So I was like, oh, that's our own appearance, that's how we are, that's our own nature, that's how we are. So we're not, we're, well, that's that. Another incident was where he saw a Muslim. You know, they do ablution rather before praying. So he saw a Muslim washing and preparing for prayer, and he had to ask like, "Oh, kusaramun one goya." Like, what is that person doing? And I had to explain to him like, he's preparing for prayers because he's a Muslim and stuff like that. So he was like, "Oh, is that so?" So in this part, or rather at this point, I was playing the role where I had to like give tour guide, like this is how things are in our country, and also to be able to share our own culture and compare the culture between Korea and also Nigeria. Another thing was the fact that even though I was on the job for like business, right? Where I had to like translate like this is this is that. But there were certain times where because he was like the only Korean, right? He was the only Korean. So um there we were, sometimes we were like three, four Nigerians there, and him being the only Korean, I felt like it was only appropriate that I tried to make him understand, or rather translate, even though they don't say, or even though it's not a business conversation where I have to translate, I'll still try to engage him, like tell him that, oh, we're talking about this at this point, or like try to involve him in the conversation so that he's not isolated, or like when we're having dinner or lunch, like work is over, right? So we Nigerians, majority, but like mostly Nigerians, so we're already having our conversation in Nigeria, gisting and stuff like that. But I have to like tell him like, or rather explain to him, like just to get him engaged. So the point is, during this job, or um during the course of this job, I realized that I had more to do than just translate from English to Korean or Korean to English. I was able to like build a relationship between these two nations. I played a diplomatic role here. I was able to build a relationship between these two countries, or these two parties, and they were able to close and sign their business deals. And I was able to play the role of a public relations person. I was able to exchange and share, talk about Nigerian culture and cultural exchange. Basically, I was able to build my confidence in my Korean as well, because the first day I was kind of nervous, but the second, third, fourth day I did really well. Most of the times we were always moving from here to there, talking, trying to close business, trying to make sure things are aligned, trying to keep up with time and stuff like that. Dinner, lunch, like a lot of activities going on. So I was not able to like do like a full content. That's why I decided to like come out and talk about my experience. And if you have any questions like regarding working as an interpreter or any of those things, then you can ask me, or you can send me a message on Instagram. I'm going to attach my Instagram handle or link to this. And also, yes, I actually planned to make a video of my first time working as a Korean interpreter, but that was like last year, November. But I never made that video. Regardless, I still have to put out that video. It could help somebody else, it could like inspire somebody else. So I'm still going to put out that video. And that one was like a different I had to do the job in Lagos, because currently I'm in Abuja, and this one was in Abuja. I had to do the job in Lagos. I had to send I had to write my CV in Korean. Like I had to like send the organization my CV, and they said write it in Korean. So I had to like write my CV in Korean, get selected for the job, work as a sales representative slash Korean interpreter, and it was a great experience. So I'm going to share that as well. And yes, thank you for watching, and don't forget to like. I didn't clean my nails. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.